I'm Todd.
And I'm Tony.
And welcome to Toying Around with TNT's
The Countdown.
All right, so it's happened. As Stevie Wonder could see was going to happen, Hasbro's Haslab engine of vengeance has flopped.
Yeah, it was one of those things, everybody wanted it, but when the price point dropped on it, it was kind of like, what?
Bruh, nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted that damn thing.
Not at that price, they didn't.
Nobody wanted anything. That was the 50th anniversary of Ghost Rider. And the trick was this. For Ghost Rider's 50th anniversary, they could have done, let's say, because it's not like they don't have the legendary rider set. You could have done a Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze with the bike. You could have dropped a Dan Ketch later on with the bike, all at retail. And then to wrap up the year, when you get close to Christmas time, you go, hey, let's do a $150 or $200 engine of vengeance with the car and Robin. And then you would have had 3 Ghost Riders, that you could sit up on your shelf and stuff like that. That thing was never worthy of a Haslab. I can remember. Can't you remember the early days when we were going back and forth, and you were like, "See, it's gonna be the Hell Charger. It's gonna be the Hell Charger." And what I used to say, I was like, "That's gonna be a waste of a Haslab."
But I knew that's what it was because it was a money grabber. That's why they did it.
But it what? And remember that used to be my argument with you in the first place. Robbie ain't that damn popular.
Yeah, true. Based off of popularity, yeah, he's not that popular.
So why would you base a $350 Haslab? Why would you base any Haslab? Haslab, when you look at the Haslab from its start, it's epic. It's either epic or something that you ain't getting over here. So your first Haslab was Star Wars Jabba sail barge, big, huge, 6-foot USS flag type deal.
It's a centerpiece of your collection.
Right.
It's what it's supposed to be, basically.
And Ghost Rider entire ain't got no damn body that's worth that kind of. He just doesn't have that level of prestige.
My thinking is this: the way they were thinking was, if we give them something that's big enough, we could justify it being this price. And I think that's how they approached it.
I think they approached that with twofold. One, it was Hispanic Heritage Month, and they gonna give you a Latino Ghost Rider. And 2, they looked at you like a crackhead. A crackhead ain't nothing a crackhead won't do for crack. And you got people out there, well, if I want, because that's literally their marketing when it started to fail was, well, if you want it, it's worth that to you. No, bull crap. It's not. It's a car. Especially when you could go and look at the Justice League car for $150, which is $200 less than that hell had oil and had an actual exhaust and had a remote control in your phone and all that. Dude, why am I gonna pay? That was basically a $350 version of a slightly kicked up version of the Mego Batmobile I had when I was 4 years old. That's all that damn thing was. Wow. They put some lights in it. If they'd have stuck 20 LEDs in the Batmobile I had in the 70s, it's the same damn car. Because when you talk about it's got a working gear shift, who the hell's working the gear shift on the inside of a damn car in remote control? That don't make no sense. That's stupid. That's a waste. Who's got a working gear shift? That kind of idiotic mess that comes. Well, it's got a front, the middle, and the sides. So it's 3-dimensional? So? So was my 70s Batmobile. And they probably paid all the $5 for the damn thing. Look at the Bratz car you got. That Bratz car sold more units after Shardamus had that picture with Hammerhead up than the hell they did on this engine of vengeance. And you ain't paid, what, $50 for that thing?
True. And the Batmobile from Hot Wheels, the RC one, that sold more units
Yeah.
than the backers once Articulated Ninja
Yeah.
advertised.
And that's what I'm saying.
And it's still something they dropped the price on it.
Yeah.
So now you can get it on Amazon for $90.
And that's my point. It's a car. It's a car. They looked at the G.I. Joe thing and said, oh, well, hell, they sold this for a his tank. Yeah, a his tank ain't a car. It don't look like a normal tank. It's tapping into your childhood. And I hate to tell you, but G.I. Joe and Cobra's a hell of a lot more popular than Robbie Rig.
Yeah, they went from the nostalgia point of that aspect of it. And then
it was an army builder. So that was
Right.
one of the kind of things where if you had the bank to do it, it's like, well, hell, I ain't just gonna have one his tank. But even if you just had the one, it still had, when it came to your collection, you could set it up where you got your his tank, you got all the figures that came with it, you got Cobra Commander, the Cobra Commander they gave you up on top of it like he's giving orders, and that becomes a centerpiece of your collection. The hell you gonna do with the hell charge? The hell you gonna do with it? What you gonna do with it? So we got a D-list character. Hell, we ain't even talking about a D-list character. We got a knockoff of a D-list character because Ghost Rider ain't that big.
True.
And you talking about the what? 4th, 5th version of it? Hell, you got people go, why didn't they give you Hamilton Slade with the horse, and why didn't they give you this? No, they gave you that piece of crap. And and I'm telling you, they looked at that, they looked online, they looked at what a lot of us, and we have fought for it to some degree, and what we've been willing to pay for crap.
Right. Now pause in that aspect of it, because you can't tell me that none of these guys that were behind the production of this haven't been on different websites, different toy groups,
Yeah.
and looking and seeing what people are buying.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying to give you American-made toys and sell them to you at Figma prices, and they say figure out prices because they know some of those figures that they make
Yeah.
are top notch, and
Yeah.
people are willing to pay that for those
That's
top notch figures. And so, with that aspect and that corporate mindset, they say, well, if they pay $50 for a figure over here that's being made in Japan, surely they're going to pay $350 for a car that's being made here in the US.
They already got us paying 30, 32, 36, 40. You know, you're going to look up your baseline Marvel Legends going to be $50 because it's heading that direction. And then they looked at that and said, well, hell, if they stupid enough to do that, how stupid are they? Like I said, they approach this like the cats that I know that are players that don't do nothing but talk to chicken heads. And one thing you'll find, if you run into a cat and he talks to a bunch of chicken heads, he gonna say something stupid to you because that's all he's used to. He used to done it. And that's the way Hasbro approached us. They approached us like crackheads, like chicken heads. They gonna pay it. And you got 5,000 fools come out the pocket for that. So they weren't completely wrong. They just overestimated the amount of idiots that they had.
Well, thank God, you know, people started to think about the thing, and a lot of the influencers out there, you know.
The influencers that Hasbro ain't paid basically went.
Correct.
It ain't worth it.
Correct.
And that was the thing, is you had, what you had was cost versus worth. If they'd have gave you something that you felt was worth it, you'd have paid the cost. The Sentinel blew up. Galactus was $400 more than that. But when you looked at Galactus, you said, that's worth that. That's bigger than a toddler.
But what you got to think about, though, is each one of those things that you just named is a centerpiece.
Right. They are epic parts of your collection. They're not a car. It's a car. You know, you got people go, well, now we ain't gonna never get vehicles. Well, if that's the best they can do with vehicles, I'm cool with them never doing one. Because let's be honest, some of this crap that you talking about, okay, let's say this hunk of junk, this hollow plastic car had sold, and you sitting there thinking, well, now we gonna get a Quinjet. Well, what you gonna pay for it? A house payment?
Facts.
You gonna pay a house payment for Blackbird? You really want a Blackbird that bad?
Well, if anything, this has set the line.
Hopefully it showed them between that and the stock prices going down and the fact that they ain't bringing in the profits this quarter like they should, because I'm a stockholder. Maybe this shows, and they know, and they got a lot of stock that ain't selling because it's too high. It's too high. you're going to have to drop it. You're going to have a choice. You'll either drop the price and make up that net worth in volume because you're selling the product, or you're going to keep the prices like it is and you're going to lose money because either it's going to sit there forever or you're going to end up having to sell it on clearance. Let's be honest, we went a big chunk of this year where Target didn't have Marvel Legends in it.
Correct.
Because you had all them stinker lines, Shang-Chi, Eternals, and all that kind of crap that stunk up the joint. Age of Apocalypse at that $22, $24 price point. The people like, I ain't paying that for that. And that's the trick. Yeah, you'll have some people that go, I don't care what it is, I pay for it. But that's a fool and his money is soon parted, and there ain't as many fools out there as they thought it was.
So with that being said, then, where do they go from here?
Where they go from here is they go back to where they were. Grand. Is this the centerpiece of my collection? Is this something that when they look at this and I go, well, I want $400 for it, that people go, yeah, I'll do that. I'll drop $400 on that bad boy. I'll pay that. You know, I don't have one regret about Galactus. I'm like the 15th person that backed Galactus. As soon as I saw it, I was on there, yep, that's coming home.
But if you're a Marvel Legends collector, yeah, that's going to be your centerpiece of that collection.
But it was a character that was popular enough. It was something that you never thought, man, I'm going to get a Galactus in scale with a 6-inch figure. Yeah, I got to have that. The Sentinel, if you were in the X-Men, it's Sentinel. Hell, if I hadn't been just out of the hospital, I'd bought all of them I could afford it. It's something that was epic and popular and grand, and then you got Ghost Rider.
Which, in my opinion, they should have, like you said, they should have gave us each rendition of Ghost Rider.
And it should have been retail. It all should have been retail. You can't, this thing like all of a sudden, even some of the collectors act like you ain't had $150 things from Hasbro. Omega in the Transformers, Omega Supreme was $150. Devastator was $150. Triptychon was $150. Metroplex was $150. They did $150. It was a deluxe Millennium Falcon that they did was $150. You can do $150 things at retail. The trick is when you do it. Like I said, they should have done Legendary Riders Blaze first of the year, Legendary Riders Catch middle of the year, Deluxe Hell Charger, just Robbie Reyes and the damn car. I can convert it. No, you don't need it. The Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider and the Hell Charger. You drop that for $150 on retail around Christmas. That's a good Christmas present for a Marvel Legends collector. You got, it's high, but it ain't just so damn high that if your kid had good grades or something, you may slide him that or something like that. If you got an adult collector, which is really who this kind of stuff is for, a wife get that for a husband or whatever. But you get that $150 job for Christmas and you call it that. You have celebrated Ghost Rider's 50th anniversary. That's his level. When you come talking about, I want $350 for a damn hollow car, man, you kill that dog. Some of them bells and whistles were stupid. Well, you can move the seat. I don't give a damn about moving the seat. Who else is in it? Well, you can do the gear shift. Who the hell gonna do the gear shift? Who doing the gear shift? It ain't remote control. It ain't like there was a remote control car that if you put it in there and you moving it with your phone, you can see him shifting gears. It's a damn lever. You don't need that. Move that ass, stick the dude in there and call it a damn day.
And you see a lot of the influencers out there showing you there were alternatives for it.
Yeah.
There was tons of alternatives for it.
There was all kinds of stuff that you could do, and the thing is, Hasbro ain't gonna be able to pull that as long as McFarlane is giving you the same and better for cheap.
Correct. Because he, as him being petty as he was in that aspect, he came back out with the Bat Beast.
Yeah.
The Batman metal monster truck.
But when I say I look at the Batmobiles, yeah, it is a cheap piece of crap, but that's just it. So's the Hell Charger. It's a cheap piece of crap.
And he sold more of those after re-releasing it again based on the fact that
based off the fact that Hasbro was trying to pimp everybody.
Right.
And that's it. You ain't got as many suckers as you thought. And it just is what it is.
Now, do you think the actual people that went into development when they started making this, I think one of the guys said if we could make it cheaper, we could have. How? When that Metroplex behind you right there,
yeah, that's what I'm
was
saying.
$150.
The Sentinel was $350.
But you see all the pieces that went into that,
right?
And
you
you
see
see it,
all the tooling and all the pieces and all that went into articulating that Sentinel. And you go, well, we couldn't make a car cheaper, really?
yeah.
How many moving pieces it got? The 2 doors and 4 wheels and a trunk. And you couldn't do that for under $350? For real? Because, like I said, when you come to well, it's got all this on the inside. That's crap you ain't gonna see.
Facts.
It's not like the His tank where that whole front comes up. You know, the kind of hatch it has. That opens up, the back opens up, so when it's lit up on the inside, so it's like a troop builder.
And you can see the troopers in that
and
back
you can
of
actually lift up the canopy, the cockpit, and see the panel board all lit up and stuff like that. Because you can lift it up and see it all glowing and stuff in there. That's a car. What the hell is it lighting up? What? And it's supposed to be like, what, a 60s Charger or some crap? It ain't no lights on a 60s Charger. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
They thought we were thirsty simps, huh?
They thought we were stupid. Oh, it lights up. We put 20 LEDs in there. So you put lights in it and you didn't give us battery. So you got to pay $350, get chunked on shipping, and provide your own battery for $350. We can go into the stretch goals. Hey, we know you want Mephisto, which has nothing to do with that version of Ghost Rider. We'll give you Mephisto, but we don't paint his feet. They got him like he got on boots, and he got wraps like the top of the boots, but then his feet ain't got toes, but his feet's the same color as his chest. For $350. For $350, this is because they knew that what they were offering wasn't crap, so it was like, oh, we're gonna depend on the stretch goals, which is supposed to be extra. That's supposed to be the icing on the cake, not part of the cake.
Facts.
That Mephisto looked like crap. No throne, feet down. Hell, if you had his feet matched, even, that would have been cool. Then they dropped the Goblin Queen, and it's, oh, we gotta give you, we gonna do this, because you ain't gonna be able to get something like this on retail. Why not? She got on as much clothes as that Deadpool character, Sickler, the Shickler that came out. She's wearing the same stuff. I got White Queen figures I got off the shelf wearing as much clothes as that. They couldn't give her the boob window. Well, why not? It's not supposed to be on the shelf. So you go give me a classic X-Men character that, as an X-Men fan, I want. Still got nothing to do with Ghost Rider. But you don't give it to me in the costume that she was in for 99% of the times that you've ever seen. They took that from one stinking panel that's recent. Don't want that. If I'm paying if it's behind a $350 paywall, I need some boobs. I need some boobs. I don't care how that makes me sound. I need something. There was nothing about this Haslab that didn't say, why in the hell couldn't you get that at retail? Where's the devil? Dude, how many Malbosiers and Spawn figures is out there?
Yep.
Some of them dripping blood. What the hell you talking about? Oh, you can't do that. Why the hell can't you? Why can't you? That's some bull.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if they act like you ain't never had Ghost Rider on the shelf. How many Ghost Riders? You had a Ghost Rider in the Spider-Man line, and then you had the Legendary Riders Ghost Rider. So if you sit there going, and you had the Cosmic Ghost Rider that was in that Legendary line. So if you go,
yep.
Well, you can't have devil characters, well hell, if I ain't gonna buy Mephisto, I ain't gonna buy Ghost Rider.
Pretty interesting topic came up. 3POA podcast,
yeah, with
Bobby Valor and the crew there, and he was actually made this point. They're not gonna take a loss on all the tooling that went into creating these characters.
Yeah, Mephisto is gonna pop up somewhere. Goblin Queen is gonna pop up somewhere. Hellstrom is gonna pop up somewhere if it ain't nothing but an Amazon box set someplace. And a little a word to the wise is, if you do Madeline Pryor again, for God's sake, don't give her some big goofy giant skull. Give her the 2 damn demons that she had. She's the Goblin Queen. Give her 2 goblins.
Do you think we ever see the card though? Because if you think about it, Bobby made a valid point. That's a lot of money they put into tooling this. They're not going to take that kind of loss.
Well, you can't necessarily say that they won't take that kind of loss, because you ain't seen the Rancor, have you?
Facts.
You know, the stuff that's gone, a lot of times it's just gone. And the trick is, you know, if they were smart, they release, like I said, they do, hey, this is deluxe legendary rider, and we put it out on retail, and you know, at least 5,000 people will buy them, because you had 5,000 at that price. And the trick is, for $150, I bought one for $150. That's still Hasbro running up in me with no grease. Because it's $150 empty stinking car. But at least I ain't having to pay shipping on the thing. You might want to add some batteries to the damn thing. Would be nice. But the trick is, it was cost versus worth. There was nothing about this Haslab, and that's the reason why people kept going, well, what about stretch goals? Well, what stretch goals we get? You know why? Because they were looking at it going, this ain't worth $350. And the trick is, if you want to do something like that, you could have done a giant. Well, truthfully, first off, you shouldn't have done nothing from Ghost Rider as a Haslab, period. He's not popular enough.
Well, they had to do something coming up with the anniversary.
Why? You had Ghost Rider, Hulk, and Thor's anniversary was all this year. And out of those 3, they went, let's do Ghost Rider.
Well, you know what? Because I figured, again, they were trying to exploit people. Again, it being a Hispanic Heritage Month. It
was Hispanic Heritage Month, and that was them testing out vehicles. Mm-hmm. But the trick is, that ain't the vehicle, that ain't a Haslab worthy vehicle.
No.
It just ain't. You know, and the ones that people want, because you keep going, hell, you'd have been better off trying to Punisher's battle van.
That's something.
You may have even at that jacked up price point, you may have had some folks buy the Punisher's battle van. Because if you go, it's $350, it's a van, so it's a hell of a lot bigger. You know, you could give you another Punisher, give you some Punisher villains or something in there, you know, trick it out with a bunch of weapons or something. But there's things that they could have done to kind of push that, because again, Punisher's a more popular character than that version of Ghost Rider.
Okay, so a lot of people were saying this needed to fail. It failed. By it failing, what does it prove?
It proves that there ain't as many suckers born every minute as you think.
Okay. With that being said, what have they learned? What have they learned?
We have to wait and see, because these days, a lot of these corporations get taught a lesson with money and they double down on dumb. So if you were going to back when I was in business class, it would have learned that, yeah, we're gonna have to do better than that. If we want $350, if we want $400, if we want $600, we're gonna have to do epic. It's gonna have to be epic. It can't be mundane.
So this is a small victory for.
It's potentially a small victory for the customer, for
mm-hmm.
the collector. But like I said, whether they actually learn from it or not, we don't know. You know, if this time next year we talking about, hey, they did the Living Tribunal or something that actually took some tooling, or you got, I know the Avengers. I know the Avengers is one of the properties. Its anniversary is next year. But you know, you're gonna have to come correct or not come at all. You know, it's gonna have to be. You know, you get there and go, oh, we're doing a Haslab Supreme Intelligence, which you know may be some big something, or ego, or you know, it's gonna have to be Living Tribunals, Celestials, that ego. It's gonna have to be that level of I said Living Tribune, but Supreme Intelligence is too small. But it's gonna have to be something that when you get it, you put it in your collection and you build your centerpiece around that. It's got to be epic. It's got to be something that you go, that's it.
With that being said, and it's for the Avengers, I would be looking for the mansion playset.
Nah, you give that up.
Why not?
You need to give up mansions. Cause what you gonna pay? You gonna pay rent for it?
No. Look.
Then it's not gonna be big enough.
Look. You've seen these dollhouses that they have for sale.
Bruh, and I've seen the Batmobiles too. And here's the trick. If you want mansions and vehicles and all that kind of crap, then you need to be pushing Hasbro to bring back the old Marvel Universe line.
The 3 3/4 inch.
Yep. Where they like Joes and shit. Where you can have a Quinjet, or you can have the Battle Van, or you can have this. You in the 6-inch line now, bruh. You know, you come down, I want a mansion. Dude, you ain't got no space for actual man. What you gonna do? Crack the damn thing open? Man, that's lame. That's lame as hell. Use that to get your giants. Get your big figures. Get a Fin Fang Foom.
Exactly.
Just think if they'd have said, we're gonna do Fin Fang Foom. We're gonna give you a real cool Iron Man. We're gonna give you a comic Mandarin, which is something you ain't got. We're gonna give you the 80s Crimson Dynamo, which is something everybody's wanting that they just won't do for some reason. We're gonna give you a 80s Titanium Man that you can only get through Select or something like that. And we're gonna do that, and that's gonna be your stretch goals. And Fin Fang, this big ass Fin Fang Foom is gonna be this, and it's $300. And you done sold the living hell out of it.
Yeah, because there's so many people out there that's making clones of these things now.
Right. But you got to think epic. This is going to be something epic, something I can't get, something. And a car is mundane. There's nothing special about a car. There's really, and if you were going to pick a vehicle, you should have picked the Battle Van. Because that's something people actually going, oh, because some of the complaints, well, since that failed, we ain't going to never get the Battle Van. Well, you probably, let's be honest, at $350, if you got the Battle Van, you're going to have to live in that mug.
Yep. Well, with that being said, this has been another one from the Tenacious Two. I'm Tony.
And I'm Todd.
And this has been The Countdown.